The other big story we're following tonight, of course, it is the weather. Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones is here as we head into another wintry weekend, my friend.
Yep. So here we are trying to figure it out again, and that's the problem. Kind of looking at model data, trying to decide which one is right. And most of them are doing the same thing they've been doing for the past couple of days, and that is putting most of this in our northern counties. But the graph still calls for an icy situation here in the Macon area and maybe south, but it's pretty much the only model for the most part calling for that. So we're going to say around 40. I say enjoy tonight because, tomorrow night we have some rain. Then we're trying to figure out, is any of this frozen? Sunday, we're going to have thunderstorms in the afternoon. I mean, this is just a wild ride all the way across. So a small rain chance tomorrow, otherwise a mainly dry day. That wintry mix, if it happens, would be overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning. And again, the farther north you are. So it's mainly kind of these counties, but it could be a little farther south. That's the thing we just don't know. Radar is almost empty now. We had a little bit of rain earlier. Some of these drops making their way on off toward the east and kind of clearing things out. There's the big picture. You can see frozen stuff already turning pink over there in North Texas. So how does it look for us? Well, again, I'm going to have a lot of models to show you, but you can see the National Weather Service is already leaning in on an ice storm warning, mainly for north of I-20. We're still in the winter storm watch for some of our northern and northeastern counties there. And a little bit of a change. It's more in that wedge there. It's going to be the highest probability of ice problems, and we're down on the very fringe of the low end, which is a good thing. That's where we want to be on this. You can watch the radar 24/7 as all the winter weather moves on into central Georgia, or maybe it stays to our north. Just scan the QR code on that screen, download 13 WMAZ Plus on your TV. That way you can keep up with everything you need to know. Let's get going on a future view up in a few.
Be proactive and be prepared, because what you do now is going to determine the situation that you find yourself in later.
This afternoon, Georgia emergency management officials giving an update on state preparations ahead of the potential winter storm with resources already distributed. GDOT and road crews are expected to start brining roads in North Georgia tonight. Officials are urging drivers to stay off the roads if possible and prepare your family and home before any weather rolls in. Make sure you and your pets have enough food and water for 3 days, and the same goes for any medications in case of power outages. Shoppers are heading to the grocery stores, stocking up for whatever happens this weekend. In Baldwin County, folks were struggling to find water, eggs, bread, even bananas. Some Georgia College sophomores ventured out in search of gluten-free Cheez-Its. And there was a grandma who was getting snacks. Those are the Georgia College students looking for the Cheez-Its. And a grandma was getting snacks for her granddaughter, including olives, pickles, and of course, Nerd clusters.
We went to Walmart just now and we just bought out all of their Red Bulls. That was like our main priority, but we're also stocking up on like pasta and everything, just easy things that we can make.
Different kinds of bread, which people think they have to get bread. No bananas, not one banana.
Wayne Johnson, Baldwin County, says they are prepared for possible ice with the emergency management teams, and they have a sand truck ready if needed. Governor Kemp declared a state of emergency Thursday. It runs for 5 days ahead of this storm. State Operations Center will be open all weekend long, coordinating with local emergency management agencies to get help and resources to those who need it. Olivia Dunn is live in Monroe County. She's with someone with the Monroe County EMA department to share some of the things they're doing.
Yeah, Frank, we're out here at Emergency Services headquarters here in Monroe, and alongside me I have Captain Christina Bramlett, who is sharing how you guys are going to be set up here this weekend, just ready to go just in case. So as we head towards the weekend, Friday afternoon, how are you guys feeling?
Feeling much better than we were at the beginning of this week. It looks like a lot of the heavy weather is trending north, but we're not out of the woods yet, so we want everybody to be as prepared as possible should that wedge of weather move more into Monroe than what they're calling for.
Absolutely. I know a lot of this is uncertain, but as we kind of move towards the weekend, what are some of the preparations you guys are taking to get ahead of this storm? I know you were talking about some of your engines, some of the things that you're doing for your tires on your fire engines and your ambulances. Talk to me a bit about that.
Well, we've got ice chains set to go should we have more ice than what they originally were calling for. We are backfilling a lot of our stations with additional manpower to have more people spread out throughout the county. And a lot of it has to do more with just public education and preparing our citizens for what they can do to help themselves the most.
Absolutely. What's your final message to folks going into the weekend?
plan for anything. Plan for power outages. Have that 3 days of food, medication, pet supplies ready, which should be in your go-to bag no matter what, but especially this coming week. Just be safe, and if you can, stay off the roads, please do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Captain Bramlett. Frank, we are sending it back to you in the studio. We're live in Monroe County. Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
Yeah, good words of advice. Thanks, Olivia. Anybody with non-emergency issues in Monroe County this weekend, like loss of heat, although for some that could be an emergency, you can reach out to the non-emergency number, 478-994-7010.